Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Max Daniels, and today we're going to be talking about Joshua Selman, and we're going to be talking about Salvation TV and Koinonia TV, and how Salvation TV is probably one of the highest earning YouTube gospel channels on YouTube. I am the light on the hill. I cannot be hidden. I cannot be blocked. I cannot be limited. And I cannot not shine. It is who I am. It is my destiny. Who am I? I am Max Daniels. And if you are here on my channel for the first time, please make sure that you do subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so that you get notified whenever I get to post new content. So I first started following Joshua Selman through a friend of mine who is a he, who was like literally forcing him onto me, for me to love him because he loved him as well. So I started following him because I found his messages to be very, inspiring, and he's a very spiritual person, and there's no way that you can listen to him and your life not change somehow. But I think the problem comes most of the time for us as believers, as in Christians, because the moment you start listening to someone, then they become your gospel truth. They become a whole doctrine that they can never say something wrong, and it's not easy for us to differentiate when someone has made a mistake, when someone was tired, when someone preached the error, not because they are demonic or because they are a false teacher, but because they're human and it's allowed to make mistakes here and there. So that's one thing I do. I try my best to make sure that I don't have like a favorite preacher, because that will really throw you off, especially if you find that someone is a false teacher or all that information. It will really break your spirit and just crush you. So I try my best to make sure that from each and every preacher that I come across, especially on the internet or anywhere, I take what I can and I leave, what I should leave. He has a sermon of 7 hours, and every 5 minutes they insert an advert. Just imagine if that video has 100,000 people who have watched. They've probably watched up until the end, so they've basically watched about almost 30 or 20 adverts in like one video. I don't know what's the maximum. Like, I'm sure that they go for the maximum amount of adverts that they can put inside of that, so that the way they monetize those videos, I knew that it cannot have anything to do with Joshua Selman, unless if it does, you never know. So that's where I actually I was like, what's happening here? What's going on? And then when I discovered Koinonia, and I discovered that even on the channel is all about ministering more than it is about making money. Whereas Salvation TV is all about making money rather than impacting people's lives. So that's basically the difference that I've noticed between the two channels. And another thing for me about Joshua Selman, like I said in the beginning of my channel, I don't want to ever make any preacher or any pastor in my life to have that impact in my life where it feels like it's all about them, and whatever that they say to me becomes law, it becomes a doctrine. So I make sure that I try my best to make sure that I avoid doing that. I'm wearing a shirt to make sure that I do avoid doing that. So I always make sure, so that's one thing that I've noticed, about this whole thing. And ever since I started reading about Florence Sheen and following Florence's Sheen's teachings and listening to the audiobooks on YouTube, which are very inspiring and they life-changing, ever since I started doing that, what has really happened to me, or what has really been happening, is that I think I got to a point where I sense a whole lot of ideologies of Florence Sheen from his sermons, from Pastor Joshua Selman's ministry. So I didn't feel like it was a thing of preaching something based on. I just felt like, when you study something continuously, it becomes a part of you, that even when you have to share it with other people, it becomes one with you. And that's just how it is. Because I remember my sister one day called me, and then she was like, okay, I've been listening to Joshua Selman, and his sermon that he's preaching is identical to a sermon that I listened to by Miles Monroe. And then I was like, no, man, maybe it's just a thing of, you know, when you hear something and it's just so good and you want to share it. And then she said to me, it's word for word. It's word for word. You know, but I didn't make anything out of it. I was not gonna like condemn, you know, a whole preacher based on that. I don't know, whether 1 or 2 incidents. You know, maybe it's a matter of, you know, when you come across a sermon and it's just so powerful, or information that's so powerful that you can't add or remove from it, but you feel a need that it's very important for you to share it with other people. And I feel like, you know, that's forgivable. There are certain things that are not forgivable, you know, when it comes to a preacher, but then I feel like there are certain things that are forgivable, considering that preachers are not angels that fell from the sky. They are people after all, you know. So those are my ideas about Joshua Selman. I feel like he's a very much spiritual, and you know, strings, my man, strings. You know, if you're a preacher and you wanna go into ministry, and you know you're starting out, nothing. Listen. Master KG is one of the biggest known artists in the world right now. Not because Jerusalem, it has a powerful message that the world had. Strings, my friend. You put strings in any music, put strings in any sermon, and it just becomes extraordinary. It becomes super, right? So strings, you know, Joshua 7, Selman. Always at strings. Strings is the 6th gun of sermon. It's the 6th gun of music. If your music or your sermon has strings, you're good to go, you know. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know that you love him, and I'm going to insert a clip at the end, you know, of one of his teachings. And then if you like him, then you can also subscribe to either Salvation TV or Koinonia and continue following on, you know, everything that he's preaching about, because it will surely change your life. So thank you for watching this video up until the end, and I love you guys. Bye.
Listen to me. When Satan wants to destroy you, he will isolate you and magnify everything around you, so that you no longer see the faithfulness of God. All you see are mountains around. All you see is the situation that seems to negate what God has said. Hear me. I'm speaking to you by the Spirit. Be strong. Be strong. There is something called the life of an overcomer. You can stand and look at everything. Young man, will you be able to rise one day and take care of mama? I may not be able to show you any result right now. I don't have much to say. Let my future do the speaking. I will be still and know you. I will be still. Hear me.